Hi everybody, and welcome to my channel. Mr. Politics here. And what shall we talk about? Well, let's talk about that speech Sunak gave the other night outside Downing Street about the threat to democracy. He was saying that the far right are a threat to democracy. Well, the far right are not a threat to democracy. I mean, he didn't say whether they were a threat or not. The only ones who are a threat are these pro-Palestinian demonstrators who demonstrate every weekend or bring London to a standstill. Those are the ones you should deal with. I mean, if the far right were allowed to march, which they wouldn't be allowed, but if they was, you wouldn't hear them shouting the destruction of Israel or shouting to the river, to the sea. No, they are the ones who are a threat. Sunak and Starmer are the ones who are a threat to our democracy. But of course, he's got to blame somebody else. He can't blame himself for all the mess he's got the country into. And Starmer is the same. He'll be exactly the same when he becomes Prime Minister. I mean, like I've said, have the far right ever called for the destruction of Israel? No, they haven't. But of course, Sunak has got to blame somebody. In other words, he's panicking. He knows he's going to lose the next election, whenever that is. He knows that his time is running out as Prime Minister, so he's desperate to shift the blame onto somebody else. Even if the far right were allowed to demonstrate, which they would not be able to anyway, they'd soon be arrested. The Metropolitan Police would soon put a stop to that. But of course, these pro-Palestinians, or these Islamists, are allowed to demonstrate. They are given special treatment. They're allowed to cause as much havoc as they like without the government stopping them, because they are afraid of the Muslims. Because if they did, the government said they couldn't demonstrate, there'd be trouble. And Sunak doesn't want that. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want trouble from the Muslims. I mean, he hasn't said which far right group are a threat. He can't name names. Sunak is one of the worst prime ministers this country has ever had. And like I said, Starmer won't be any better. He'll be even worse. These demonstrators, they just cause havoc. Comes to something, doesn't it, when the Metropolitan Police have to guard our statues, a statue of Winston Churchill, from being defaced, and other statues as well. I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm afraid the Conservatives have lost their control of this country. I'm just letting anybody do what they like. But the ordinary white person of this country would not be allowed to demonstrate. They would not be allowed to say the things the pro-Palestinians say. If they did, they'd be arrested by the Metropolitan Police, who are operating a two-tier policing at the moment, they favour the pro-Palestinian demonstrators. Like I said, if anybody else tried that, they'd be arrested or the march would be banned. But not the pro-Palestinian marches. No, they're allowed to go on with the police just standing there watching all what it go by. I'm beginning to think that the Metropolitan Police are pro-Palestinian supporters. They just, like I said, they just stand there with their thumbs up their asses and they just do nothing. They are useless. But like I said, if anybody else was to demonstrate, well, it would not be allowed. The government would ban it. Well, anyway, that's the end of this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all again in another one.